Welcome. I'm Janelle Kolaski, a career mindset coach and actor.
And I'm Amanda Dubois, a self-authenticity and prosperity life coach and actor as well. And we're your co-host of Mindset Artistry YouTube channel,
where we teach you the art of discovering and using your mindset
to build a career and life you desire. We're going to talk about the importance of understanding it and then implementing that and practicing it on a daily, if not weekly, or implementing into your life and as a whole. Okay, so I actually did a Google search and searched on what the definition is of patience, right? And it came down to the capacity of accepting or to tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. And I thought that was quite interesting because I never really put that in perspective of that sense. And instead of accepting or tolerating these type of challenges, setbacks, roadblocks, hiccups, falls, all the things, because we're not going to say failure because I don't believe in failure. These setbacks is recognizing that you have to, it's more than just accepting, it's being aware. Okay, it's being aware of these troubles, these challenges, these setbacks, these overwhelming circumstances that may cause you to take a step back or not pursue something at all. And so I wanted to talk about this because as creatives, as actors, as anyone in an industry that requires patience, there has to be an understanding of when to do or when to have patience and when not, and to be aware of the importance of it. Because, and I'll talk about this later on as well in our short period of time, is understanding the benefits of patience, which is long-term success over quick gratification, right? It's also learning to overcome these challenges, because if you're moving at a fast pace and racing, you're missing the lessons along the way because you're so focused on the road ahead. You have your blinders on, like those horses that race. They've got those things here, and you're so focused on that you're actually missing out on opportunities because you're impatient. You're rushing the process. You're also could possibly miss out on opportunities that would get you there faster, but in a different way. And so now, before we dive into all of that amazingness, tell me your experience with practicing patience.
You know, it's pretty funny because people often say to me, because my brother has autism, and before getting into modeling and acting, I was a special ed teacher. I worked with special needs most of my life, actually. Still to this day, most of it was working with special needs. And everyone was like, you must be so patient. And I was like, just for them. Nobody else, not for neurotypical people, or when I'm waiting on my pizza to come, or my food sitting at the table, or for my dreams to come true. So it's pretty funny. And so I've had to try to teach myself, like, you can have the patience because, like, obviously you have it over here, but it's time to bring it over to this side. Because I love how you're pointing out that you can miss things or rush into things if you're not patient. And I asked myself, well, what makes me not patient? And I think it comes down to, like, not feeling like I'm worthy or valuable enough, or if I don't say yes to everything, or everything doesn't come the way I think, it's not going to happen for me. And I've made mistakes. I've even had people be like, oh, you guys slow down. You might miss something here and there. So that's how, my patience or lack thereof has had an impact on my life.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your honesty, and I love the relationship with patience and self-identity and like self-identification. So if you're becoming impatient and you don't practice patience, you are now going to start identifying yourself as invaluable, as not good enough, as not worthy enough to achieve the goal that you're going for, to achieve whatever that is. That may be love, that may be being a bodybuilder, that could be a singer. And if you think about all those artists that you look up to, at certain points in their lives, they had to practice patience. They were born with a gift, of course. But as a child, what were they doing? They were doing the work. They were going into pageants and singing in front of friends, or dancing, or learning a guitar, it takes time. It's like they say Rome was not built overnight, although I probably think that's a misconception because, all these pyramids and things like that, maybe. But what I'm saying is that in order for things to be solid, to withstand all the chaos around you, you have to practice patience because you have to build yourself up. You have to create strengths within you. You have to recognize the weaknesses within you, the less desirable aspects of yourself, to acknowledge that and then take that with you. And so, hello, anyone have any questions? Drop a heart if you're actually interested in this conversation about patience. Is it a troubling issue for you to practice patience? Because we all want that goal. We all want our careers to happen overnight. Absolutely. Right. But if it happened overnight, would you appreciate it as much as you would have if it took the time to get there? And two, would it really be the same? Because it would be a quick gratification. And eventually it would subside. It would lose its joy. Right? So if you get it so quickly and you get, oh my gosh, it's so excited, and then it's not exciting you every step of the way, what happens? You may lose interest, you may get angry, you may get anxiety, you may put yourself in situations that compromise your success or well-being and compromise your life overall. And so that is the concept of understanding the importance of patience. And the benefit is you get to build a mindset that is resilient. You build a resilience within yourself to withstand these roadblocks, because these roadblocks, these setbacks, they're stepping stones. They're stepping stones. They're little like rocks in the pavement that you pick up and you kind of throw away and go, okay, I got it. And you keep going. But if you're like running so fast, here's what happened. Here's a great analogy two great analogies, is that imagine you're running to a train, going upstairs. You're really, really going, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss this train. If I miss this train, I'm going to be late for work. So I'm running, whatever. Running so fast, out of breath, pushing people aside, right? Who knows? Not that you're that aggressive, but pushing people aside, like, excuse me. And you get on the train. You're like, oh, I made it. Whew, I'm not going to be late to work again. I'm there. Cool. I got to stand, but okay, great. Get there, you're going through your day, and then lunch comes because you didn't pay attention. Lunch comes, and guess what? You dropped your wallet on the platform because you were running so fast. You dropped something really important to getting to your destination. That is the same thing as not practicing patience. And I'm not saying to have persistence, to be resilient. I'm not saying not to go for the goals and set big goals. I'm also saying set smaller goals to get to the bigger goals. I'm saying you have to, like anything worthwhile, you have to give it time to grow. Just like nature. You plant a seed, you water it. It takes days, weeks, sometimes months. It also takes seasons. There are seasons that you go through within your life that sometimes, if you're not patient enough and you try to jump the season, then the lesson that you were supposed to learn to accomplish the next step or the next level, you wouldn't be able to, because that lesson that you missed out on, because you so quickly trying to surpass it, that you lost a skill that could have made you get to the next level. And then when you get there, what happens? Disappointment, anger, anxiety, a lack of motivation, all the things that come with it. Oh, that imposter syndrome, that thought of finding yourself invaluable, worthless. All these things start to come up and you start associating that with your being. And then what happens? Inaction. You start getting lazy, or you're not recognizing where you need to improve, where you need to grow, all these things. So that's the benefits is being able to recognize that the lessons are meant to help you. They're not meant to tear you down. And with patience, you can see them. It's like it provides clarity for you. It provides clarity of the things that you need to improve on to get to the next level, right? If you think of it like a bodybuilder, you've got to build muscle mass. You've got to build a muscle mass in order to get the definition. What does that take? A lot of time, because your muscles need to be able to tear apart, because that's actually what happens when you build muscle. is actually tearing the muscle apart to grow back and get thicker and stronger. But if you're not allowing that to happen, then you wouldn't be able to be stronger and get those muscles. You actually tear it and probably tear it to the point that it's unrepairable. Patience as your friend. Think of patience as a partner during your journey. Think of patience as an opportunity to slow down, also take care of your mental and physical state. Because if you're trying to rush also the process, you're also you're going to take on so much that things will slip through the cracks. Things will eventually slip through the cracks, and then you'll feel things coming out of your control. You'll start blaming other people. You'll start putting that energy within yourself and others. And then what happens? Nobody really wants to be around you. You'll be labeled as, oh my gosh, I don't want to talk to that person. Or they do their job, but they're really horrible. Like that energy starts to come out of you and ooze out of you. So I want to, is anybody resonating with this? I don't know if anybody's still here. But now I want to jump back to you on the idea of patience. And tell me a time where you didn't practice patience or you didn't implement patience, and it actually created more of a setback than if you practice patience.
I think an example I can give is maybe even with, my current thing here, like we were waiting for a passport, and because I'm going to London tomorrow, and we needed the 4th passport for us to go as a family. And it was a struggle for me because I had to be patient to be like, okay, it's going to work out. And although it's like really getting down to the minute here, like stressing doesn't help. And it was really hard for me not to stress or be anxious. But whenever the patience would be gone and I would be getting really upset and angry about it or worried or stressed, it's like bad for my health. And it didn't change anything. We still got it. But the fact of the matter was, if I was more patient, I was pretty patient, it's really down to the minute. But when I'm trying to think of patience now, it's like, I'm always trying to think of like, what is my intention and what is the vibe that I'm coming from? So am I just like really genuinely being patient and understanding that everything will work out as it should? Or am I like being like, well, I'll be patient and wait forever for this to happen, and just like letting so much anxiety pour in? And for everybody watching, whether it's patience or any other type of virtue that you're trying to practice, like maybe taking care of your health, we talk about that. Are you doing it because you want to look a certain way because of social media, or are you taking care of your health because you love yourself and it's not about other people? So everybody, like, everyone's like, patience, but it's really healthy. It's so much healthier for you to be patient. Amanda said, things will slip through the cracks. And then also I find with myself, when I'm not patient, my anxiety builds up in my body. There's a lot of tension and it literally makes me feel ill. And so I also believe that whatever is meant for you is for you. So as long as you don't stop completely and you just keep taking steps forward, it's going to happen. And yeah, sometimes you got to push a little, but I would say physically, because I haven't been patient and allowed things to work out, like my back went out. I got sick all the time. I have other things going on. And so I would say that is how not being patient has not served me.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, because we know that if you're not patient and you keep going, eventually you will be forced to stop. The universe, God, whoever you believe in, but like, oh, you ain't listening? Okay, boom. You're going to trip and fall and you hurt your elbow or like hurt your wrist. You're like, dude, calm down. Relax, take a step back. You need to chill, because you're actually missing out on an opportunity that I've been trying to send you your way, and you're completely ignoring it because you're so focused on getting there as quick as you can that you're not realizing that, again, the opportunity over here could probably get you there quicker, if not to a better scenario and a better situation. And so I also want to talk about the idea of practicing patience and the downfall, the downside of it, right? And Nell talked about a little bit about that briefly. Is like, we're not saying to stop. We're not saying to lose momentum, right? Because the downside of practicing patience is that you eventually give up. because you're so la-di-da and like going with the flow that you end up going, oh, it'll happen, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, and then it becomes procrastination. Like, oh no, it's okay, it'll come my way. Like, okay, yeah. And then it becomes an inaction. You start to lose momentum and you become stale like a chip under a couch. Just stale. Nobody want that. Ain't nobody want no stale chip on the couch. Nobody wants that. It's not satisfying whatsoever. And so that's one of the downsides is imbalance, right? You need balance with patience. You need to balance yourself once you understand what patience looks like, which means in order to practice patience is setting goals, being aware of your strengths and your weaknesses or the less desirable aspects of yourself where you can improve on, right? And setting goals to that, to achieve that or get better at it, because eventually it will be one of your top skills. It will become your strength. No weakness can stay a weakness unless you give it permission to. So don't give permission for your weakness to overcome or take over your success. Take it back. So, and then it has to be a balance, setting goals and getting clarity around what is it that you actually want to accomplish. Outside of the fame and fortune, what is it? Is it joy? Is it being seen, heard, supported? Is it having stability? Is it building and cultivating relationship and community? Is it sharing your gifts of speaking like myself and Janelle? Is it being on stage and performing and bringing a character to life and seeing that, like looking at the Little Mermaid and seeing the little kids being, oh my gosh, that was so exciting. I love it. I want to be the Little Mermaid. How inspirational is that? So it's understanding and having that awareness of the full aspect of what patience is. And then understanding, all right, I can practice patience. And that goes back to always doing your best, and your best can always change. That's also practicing patience as well, because you're understanding that the things that I could do, like I did 10 tasks yesterday, but today I could only do 2. Well, that's being aware of the patience and understanding that, okay, my body, maybe my mind, maybe the tasks required more time from me. So I couldn't be able to do 10 tasks. Yesterday, the 10 tasks that I was able to do, they were quicker, they were shorter. I can do it. I already did it before, so I can do it again. I have a question here. Can you talk about the importance of patience in acting careers or any recent experiences around that? Absolutely. So, man, let me tell you, I am one of probably the most impatient people, or at least earlier on in my career. I wanted things very quickly. I'm like, I gotta have it. I gotta get an agent. I gotta be on the billboards. I gotta have this. I gotta do this. And what happened was, it was great. And I really excelled in understanding the business side of the acting, right? I went to the classes, I was networking with people, but I didn't allow myself to embrace the process, nor did I allow myself to develop my niche as an actor, right? Because we all have that character or that ability that's going to get us in the door. And so because I didn't do that, I missed out on a lot of opportunities, because I want the big stuff. I want the Marvel gig. I want the award-winning gig that's going to get me an Oscar. And I missed out on the opportunities that were going to allow me to grow as a creative being, as an actor, to develop a skill that's so impenetrable that it is exciting and invigorating. So when I get on stage, someone watches me and go, oh my gosh, she's amazing. But I was looking at the superficial aspect of the career rather than the passion behind it. And so when I became impatient, I was put in rooms that I wasn't ready for, to be honest. I was put in rooms that people were going for lead roles and major projects back in the day. I think it was Walking Dead when it first started, all these things. And to be honest, I wasn't ready. And I beat myself up for it because I wasn't ready. I didn't give myself enough time to cultivate and create a skill and learn. I wanted to rush the process. And then if I had gotten it, would it have been good? Maybe I would have been fired. Maybe it would have been my great work. Who knows what could have happened? But also recognizing that there are a lot of jobs that are not meant for you. there are a lot of jobs that you wouldn't be able to perform the way the person who's meant to do it will do. And understanding that also allows gratitude in every step of the process, because every experience you have is going to feed your story. It's going to feed your toolbox. It's going to add something new to it, even if it's like a little nail, everything. And so when you're able to slow down and start tapping into that, you're bringing something so unique to your work that no one else can replicate. Now, I know you can speak to this. Tell me, about the importance of practicing patience in your career and like any recent experiences around that.
Yes, I started at least with modeling in 2005, and you have all these dreams, you're thinking of ways that it's going to go. And I would say what really showed me like that it's really about the journey, and also just like look, you have to really zoom out and look at life as a whole. And so I booked the show Dynasty. It was a guest star. It was really surreal being in the honey wagon, or our trailer, and working. It was just myself and two of the main stars in the scene. There was nobody else in that room. And it was so weird. I remember standing in the back. I had to like turn a corner and say everything and talk to them. But I was like standing back there, and I was like, holy shit, I'm finally here. Like this thing where I dreamed of this when I was 6 years old. Like, holy fuck. And I'm not close to 6 anymore, But what really stood out to me was when I posted that I booked that job and I had done it, so many people were so complimentary and kind. And all of these people, I had met them over the span of 15 years or longer. And I was like, that's what it's really about. I was like, oh, I remember like I was in my first acting class with you, and oh, I learned so much for you in that play, and we didn't make shit money. I mean, we made a really great play, but we didn't make any fucking money. Oh my God, my first commercial. And I remember thinking, oh, if I could just book one commercial. And now I don't know how many I've booked. And so I've just really learned, like, I just keep checking back with myself. Is this what I meant to do with my life? Yes. All right. I'm going to keep going. And it's been a little while for me since things have really picked up. I mean, luckily I'm, on hold for a show now. So that's exciting. And we'll see what happens. Are they going to go with a blonde or a brunette? You never know. It's really sometimes what it comes down to. But that's it. Like, I don't know if you're interested in acting, but for people like a little bit behind the scenes, it's like you audition, and then if casting likes you, then they send you to producers, and then the producers really have a lot to say. And it's like you are talented enough at that point. Like, that's a huge accomplishment if you get sent to producers, or if casting keeps calling you back. So for actors that are new, or maybe you're feeling down, like, remember, that's a big deal. And then from there, do you look like somebody's ex-wife? Does your appearance look too much like one of the main principal actors? It's like so many of these things. So you have to be patient, because like Amanda said, whatever's meant for you is for you. And if it's meant for somebody else, it's their job. But what I also learned before I send it back to you is like, you can't focus too much on like, oh, when are the jobs coming? When are the jobs coming? Then you have to be grateful for that and be like, okay, so I have all this time. So for years now, I've just been working on my healing. And I think like I'm grateful that there hasn't been as much going on as I would like, because I don't want to be like one of those people that you get down the road and you're famous or something, and you like didn't work shit out, and then you're having, and I would be one of those people. I would definitely, Amanda knows, go off the deep end. So thank you for the time to do my healing. So yeah, stay on top of your shit. Don't be in La La Land. Don't let patience make you like, not do anything, but look for the opportunity and always check in with yourself. Is this what I want to do with my life? Yes, I'm going to keep going.
I love all of that. And thank you for sharing, because it reminds me also, I had watched an interview with Haley, the one who plays Little Mermaid. Haley, was it Bailey? Or you know what I mean? Haley Bailey, like almost like a Halle Berry. But so I watched an interview with her, and she said she had auditioned for Little Mermaid when she was 18. And it took them 2 months to call her back. 2 months. And she was the first person to audition. And she impacted that audition room to the point that they never forgot her. They went through hundreds of actresses after the fact. But she made such an impact as she went in there and was patient with her work. She was prepared. She did the work and go, I'm going to leave everything in this room. And it's on you if you want to book me or not. It's on you if you want to hire me. But I did the work and I love it. And I would love to be a part of it. That is also practicing patience. And that's understanding that, right after that, again, it took 2 months to even get a call back. And then she went through producer sessions, you went through screen tests, all of that. So imagine if you don't practice patience, you're going to get to the point where you're like, oh, the producer session, oh, I got a screen test. Oh my gosh, I got to do a compatibility test. Like all of that, guess what? Ain't nobody going to want that energy in there. They're going to be like, they're good, but you know what? I don't want them on set. Is that somebody that's going to be able to withstand long days on set, 14 hours, 15 hours, on long-term sets as well, that maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 months? Ain't nobody want that energy. So practicing patience also allows you to ground yourself, be full of gratitude and joy, and embracing the process and embracing the ebbs and flows, because it will happen. It's without a doubt, it will happen. There are so many things out of your control, and that can impact you by choice. You can take it and go, oh, my night is ruined. Never mind, everybody, I quit. I'm done. Right? Or you can go, okay, how can I navigate this situation? And that's mindset. And when you build a mindset like that, you're also creating habits within yourself to start taking a step back and looking at things, like Nell said, as a whole. Going, all right, well, this is a hiccup. What can we do? Who can help? What am I not seeing? Where can I improve? Right. So, right, exactly. They were so true. There were tears after she sang. Exactly. I remember that. There were tears after she sang. So it's something to remember within your career, that patience is only going to add to your success. But again, it's the balance. It's recognizing of when to embrace patience and when to keep momentum and take action. You should always be taking action. But again, things will happen. So what could you do? That's implementing practices that are going to help you be grounded, get back to your intentions with the work, right? Why you started. Nell always talks about the why you wanted to be an actor, because this career ain't for the faint of heart, honey. Because a lot of people are not going to be the Leos. Okay, not everybody's going to be the Viola Davises. But you can be your own version. When you find out what that is and your version of success, you would look at them and go, oh, that's Viola Davis, but that's not what I want to do. You'll just admire them and go, I'm such a fan. That is the importance of patience and understanding that within your career as an actor, even career in general, any career out there, any career. I believe that we're all creatives. I believe that we all have the ability to be creative. And that, again, I always talk about you could be creative in numbers and all of that. And so we're kind of, we're running low on time here because we both do have to go. But I really wanted to just give you an exercise or a thought that you can think about when you're, trying to balance patience, when you're getting to the point where you're feeling antsy or angry that the results aren't quite getting there, you can't see them, is to take a step back, see it as a canvas, right? A big, big canvas. Like you have this beautiful picture, and when you're close up, you can't see the beauty in it. You can't see all the intricate designs. I always talk about this because it just became an epiphany for me. You can't see all the intricate designs. So take a step back from the situation, take a breath, take 5, take 10, whatever you need, and breathe into your body and allow yourself to ground. Imagine that roots are coming from the top to the bottom and grounding into the ground. And then breathe that out and go, okay, I'm going to choose one thing to focus on. What will that be? What's most important right now? Because that's going to allow you to create clarity and not become overwhelmed, and understanding Is there something I'm actually not doing that I should be doing? Or is it that I have to give it time to grow and have some type of response or reaction to? And in that, put your energy in something else creative. And pursue all that you desire.
What are your thoughts about this episode?
Drop it in the comments and let us know what you want to dive into next.
Subscribe, like, share, and click the link below to book a free consultation. And
We'll see you next time.